I know what you're thinking. Y'all again? Well, yes, it is us again, but hey, we're not alone. Well, actually, me and Chris are not alone because do not be alarmed. Yes, it still says the same name, Talking Ish, but we added another person. Yeah, that guy that wears the you. Yes, you. Hi, welcome. Welcome to the revamped edition of Talking Ish, but now it's Talking Ish with Chris and Mizzle. So this is episode 1. So yes, you are. We are on a lot of platforms right now as a part of the Other Side of the Ball network. We're on obviously the Other Side of the Ball page, me and Mizzle's Twitter pages, and also me and Mizzle's personal Facebook page. So and of course the Talking Ish page. So there's a whole lot of outlets you can check us from. So there's no need to fear, no need to like where can I catch you guys? You can catch us all right here. Well, gentlemen, let's talk about how this idea came. Well, actually, Chris gets full-fledged credit for this because this was 100%. Chris's idea to bring Mizzle onto the fray. So you have 3 opinions from 3 different fan bases. So this is going to be a whole lot of fun with the applause in the background. But right now we got
let me just do this.
What?
Yeah. So right now with 6.5 to go in Pittsburgh, it is the Texans 20 and the Steelers 12, and the Texans are trying to run out the clock and get a win in this BS preseason game, as it is the first full-fledged weekend of preseason football, as we got 3 games going on right now. We have the Dolphins and the Falcons in Miami, and we got the
which is 20-13 in the third quarter, which I just put on the screen. So, does everybody have a game on one of their screens? Because I got the Dolphins on and the Falcons right now.
Well, I got the Steelers and the Texans with 6:05 to go in the fourth quarter.
Okay, there we go.
I'm gonna put on the Eagles and the Ravens.
Well, see, there we go. See, this is why we do this, ladies and gentlemen. All 3 of us have a game on to where we can chime in. This right here is going to be beautiful. Let me just tell you. I said, buckle up.
This is why we do this podcast.
Yes, sir.
In other words, the Eagles and the Phillies are tied at 6.
Yes.
Going into the innings, but
still.
Well, it's still 6-6. It's still the Orioles and the Phillies right now doing battle at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland.
From Kiddo 19, my guys, what's up? What's up?
Don't get me start talking shit about the Eagles already, because I will.
And now we're timing in with the
so
chat. Reportedly, the 49ers accepted a trade that would have sent Ayuk to the Browns, and the Browns sent Amari in the 2nd and the 5th. But Ayuk is smart.
Hold on. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So earlier today, I saw the fact that the 49ers and, of all people, the Steelers had a verbal commitment in place to trade Ayuk to the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, the Niners want a receiver in return, and the Steelers don't have a receiver to give up. Per se.
If they've got a verbal in place,
you know they're not giving up Pickens. Stop that.
Stop
that.
Hey,
stop that. You go put yourself in timeout for 5 seconds for saying some shit like that.
It's the Georgia Bulldog in me.
I don't give a damn if you was a Florida Gator saying that. You go put yourself in timeout for 5 seconds for saying that. They ain't giving up Pickens. Wishful thinking there, like, right?
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Pickens gone from the Steelers already anyway?
No. I think that was Deontay Johnson that left the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I think you're absolutely correct on that one.
Also on NFL news, also in other news, Juju Smith-Schuster needs a job. He's been cut by the Patriots. So
wait. If the Patriots cut him, find a job.
Damn.
They need all the wide receiver help they can get. And they cut a receiver that's only 27, 28 years old.
Ticket taker? I mean, he could come work at the stadium over here.
That's about all he can do.
Okay, so here's okay. Now. You're saying they offered
yes, they did.
Million,
yes, they did.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's
that is facts because I heard that on Shine On Sports.
There's a lie in there somewhere because the Niners offered Ayuk in between $26 to $20 million because he wants Amon-Ra St. Brown money, but he's not an Amon-Ra St. Brown #1 type wide receiver.
There's no lie in his statement. He just didn't want to play for the Patriots because they are rebuilding.
No, I understand that. I understand that reason, but for him saying, you know, he wants to get paid like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Well, I understand, but this statement is actual. This is a fact. The Patriots were going to give him 32.
I'm not saying. I'm not calling you a liar. What I'm saying is, Ayuk is smart to not go to New England.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that at all because I mean the Patriots are, you know, well,
a shit show right now.
Hey, Dub, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
Love these.
So, I'm trying to figure this out. You ain't gonna like it, but I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, baby.
So, I'm wondering if you could help me out with something.
I'll do it to the best of my ability.
Okay, so I'm looking at overthecap.com. And I know your feelings on your team. I ain't trying to talk shit. I'm being real about it. Right now, you guys are $52.2 million under the salary cap.
Ouch.
Can you please explain to me what the hell is going on with the 49ers where you guys are $52 million under the salary cap, but as of next year, you're $38.9 million over the cap? What's going on?
I don't know because obviously some of that went to Kyle Juszczyk's cut in pay to try to get cap space because obviously, as we know, the luxury tax is a pain to pay in the world of football, just like it is in basketball. Baseball doesn't have such a thing because they don't have a salary cap. But
hold on. There is no luxury tax in the NFL.
Well, there is. Okay, so what is the tax that they pay if they go over the cap? What's that penalty?
There is no tax if you go over the cap. The cap is simple. If you're over the cap, you can go over the cap for the year. Come draft time, you have to be under the cap, or you cannot. You cannot be part of the draft, the NFL draft.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay.
So
that is new knowledge.
That is your, if you will, your little hiccup of being over the cap. So I saw that and I'm like, oh man, check this out. 49ers are $52.2 million under the cap this year. And so I'm like, oh, let me check out where they're at next year. And I'm like, whoa, how do you guys go from number one down to 29?
I think it's all the contracts that they uploaded this year. They're probably adding that in for this year.
Is I was looking at it, and what I saw was the salary cap that's accelerated for your running back.
Yep.
For
Bosa probably.
And the thing about it is that's not including Brock Purdy,
who is up for a contract.
Yep. So it's an interesting piece because what they're saying when I was looking at this is 49ers, this is their Super Bowl year, or it's going to be interesting coming next year.
Wait. This is their – before I make the comment, want to give a shout-out to JP that made it safely into Texas. He commented on my page. I didn't have the privacy up for you for the post to comment, but JP, if you're still watching, please make another comment so we can share it. But JP said, fellas, hello from Texas. So – now to say what you said, are you saying that the Niners is?
What's up?
Oh, I see it. I see it up there. Okay, so you just said that it's the Niners this year for the Super Bowl again.
It's got to be what they're saying.
Again.
Hold on, Mizzle. Hold on. What they're saying is the Super Bowl window for the Niners.
That shit stopped last year.
because if they don't do it this year and win, they've got to cut a lot of players to get under the salary cap for next year. So that's why they're saying the Super Bowl window for them is this year.
It was last year for him. It was last year for him. The year before that.
Well, I mean,
how long is his window open? Pretty soon you guys should have mosquitoes and all kind of bugs flying through your window right now. How long is this window going to be open?
Hey, you know what? I mean, as long as you're smart with your salary cap and as long as you're doing what you need to,
100%.
That Super Bowl window stays open, right?
100%.
But the minute
I agree with that.
You're up against the salary cap, you got to pay Mr. Irrelevant, who is no longer irrelevant.
Hell no.
He's earned his right. And you've got to start looking at some of the players that you have. That means some of the players that you have they've got to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
It is
so,
20 for the Steelers.
It's an interesting standpoint that the 49ers are at right now. But I mean, it's like most, right? When you sit there and you deal with the salary cap, and I'll get into my team later because I think they're full of shit. But anyway,
oh boy,
when you start to look at what goes on with some of these other salary caps, and you start looking at the players that they got, that's why drafting is so important and not signing free agents. Because let's face it, when you start looking at your team and you start looking at what you're missing, that's when you fill in the gaps before the October trade deadline, right? But if you're going to be looking at your team and your squad from where they are, and you want to be a Super Bowl team, the only way to build a Super Bowl team is not by free agency. You've got to build your Super Bowl team by the draft.
100%. 100%.
Well,
I like that.
I mean, look at this one. Look at it this way. I mean, you look at just the past 5 years alone, from 2020 to now. Really, it's been either the two teams that you can't stand the most, Mizzle. Basically, those two have been in the Final Four every year.
Can't get mad at that.
It's been consistency. I mean, my team may not go to the playoffs every year because they went 6-10 in 2020, but from 2019 on, their season is either unfortunately ended in a conference championship loss or a Super Bowl loss, unfortunately to the same doggone team. But here's the thing. For them, it really is New Orleans or bust, because this is almost kind of like 1998, to where that was their last year with Hurst and Young and Rice in that particular core before, obviously, salary cap hell took over. And then that's when they went on that, 2-year struggle before they got back to the playoffs in 2001. So, obviously, because we know Trent Williams he's getting old. We know that. What's up, Hess? How are you, sir? Say that again?
Isn't he holding out?
Sure is.
Trent Williams?
Yeah.
Sure is.
Well, we all know what holding
I think he'll get a deal done before Ayuk. I think they'll pay Trent Williams before they pay Ayuk.
Well, it depends. But the thing about it is, I think they trade Ayuk. I don't think Ayuk is on the 49ers this season.
Hell, if the Steelers can pony up a wide receiver, he'd have been gone today.
Well, the thing about it is, do you really need to pony up a wide receiver, or is it good enough to do a first-round draft pick?
No, I think the Niners, all they want is a second and a fifth, but the Niners want a receiver in return.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you're looking at the situation and the 49ers are looking for a receiver in return, if you offer them a first-round draft pick instead of the second,
you definitely take that. You definitely take. I would be like, damn.
First round, you're no longer looking at the wide receiver. You're looking at the first round draft pick.
Exactly. Exactly. That will win.
To be made in the NFL if you're willing to give it up.
100%. 100%. What's up, Hess? Go ahead, brother. I just want to just make sure I shout out to the comments. We show them that we see what they're saying.
Well, at the end of the third quarter, going to Chris's other home, Mizzle's beloved Argonauts lead my Stampeders by 6 going into the fourth quarter, 21-15. As
revenge, baby.
Revenge for
revenge, baby.
Whatever. Argos.
All right, wait. So me and you agree Dub, you are the only one. That's right. I'm an Argonauts fan all day. We know
Argos fan,
that.
man. Come
That's
on.
okay.
Yes, sir.
That's okay.
See,
Let-
I knew I
let-
liked
let's-
this. I
let's-
knew I liked this gentleman. He's a Florida State
Let-
Seminole
let's-
fan, and he's an Argonauts fan. I knew this was meant to be. See, I knew it.
Dude,
Well,
I'm
he is
from
well,
Toronto. You also got to be an Argonauts
yeah,
fan.
he is. He is Canadian. He's got dual citizenship.
I'm 100% American, straight from the Bay Area, and I've been a Toronto Argonauts fan for a while. The moment they got Rocket Ishmael, even sold it more for me.
Dude, when they drafted Rocket Ishmael, I was like, man, I am there. But you know what made it even more special? When he came to the U.S. and started playing for the Cowboys.
Oh, well, he was also a Raider too.
More special.
He was also a Raider too.
Well, you know.
Well, I still remember that walk-off. I still remember the walk-off that he had against the Redskins when Troy Aikman threw for 5 TDs and Rocket was just straight down the seam and Aikman hit him in stride and Rocket never looked back.
That was the epitome of play action. When they acted like they were going to Emmett and everybody sucked up, boy, that was probably the easiest throw.
If that wasn't
that play fake.
Yeah, if that wasn't Madden playing video games the way they did that with the play action with Aikman, Emmett, and Rocket,
it was crazy.
Like video game status,
right?
Straight up.
But I mean, as I'm sitting here talking about this, and I gotta get on my soapbox for a minute.
Okay.
And I gotta get on my soapbox for my team.
Let's go.
Been a Cowboys fan since '78, and I've listened to the BS. I've listened to everybody with their posturing and talking shit about my Cowboys, and I'm gonna talk a little bit of shit about my Cowboys because, oh man, dude. Did you guys even see what they said? What Chris Carter said about all the talking heads on the shows and how it's all scripted?
No.
So, Chris Carter laid it out. He laid it out the other day, and how everything is scripted, and how Stephen A. Smith, you pick your side, you pick your argument, and they already know who's going to win the argument. So here's my thing, all right, and this is where I get on my soapbox, and I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions.
Okay.
But I'm going to point out a few things. All right.
Let's go.
So if you guys remember, at the end of last year, you had a lot of ESPN, FS1, everybody on Dak's shit, right? He ain't worth this. He ain't worth that. Explain to me what changed to where they're now saying, oh, he should just become a free agent and go get his money. What changed?
If you're going to ask me, it's a direction that Jerry Jones said that he was going to go with the team, and he's not doing what he said he was going to do. So they're like, maybe Dak needs to get up out of there, change the scenery.
I disagree. My thing is, what changed with the talking heads where Dak wasn't worth shit? He wasn't even worth the $55 million that
I agree.
Our boy just got paid.
I heard the banter.
What changed? Because now they're saying he's worth every dime to be between 60 and 65. What changed?
One playoff victory.
2.
Oh, I stand corrected.
And by the way,
what changed? Maybe.
And by the way, I'll put it out.
What changed?
I'll put it out there this way for you, real quick, Mizzle, and then Dub, you can answer. My thing is simple. If you want to look at what the difference is between regular season and the playoffs, you cannot get to the playoffs without winning in the regular season. Let's be real. Okay? Now, I will go one. I'll say this: during the regular season, a quarterback can get a team to the playoffs. Come playoff time, it is a team that either wins or loses. It's not about the quarterback. So you can talk shit all you want about Dak. The fact of the matter is, if you really want to look at it, all season long, last year, what's the most points that the Cowboys gave up? And I can tell you right now, it's 35. What they give up to Green Bay, 48. Now, if you want to, I can say, well, Dak threw a pick 6, so they gave up 41, and I'm good with that. But the fact of the matter is, they gave up 41 points. Period. So while everybody wants to sit there and talk about Dak and put this all on his shoulders, I can tell you very honestly, the only playoff game that Dak has lost was the game against San Francisco 2 years ago. That's the only playoff game he has lost.
I'm not going to argue that.
All the other playoff games, I put squarely on the shoulders of the team.
I'm not going to argue that.
Now, I'm sorry, Deb. You go ahead and answer the first question that I said about what changed. You were about to say it, and I interrupted.
I was going to say probably it could be the fact that Trey Lance has not looked good in training camp, and that certainly has maybe added to the I love Dakota all of a sudden.
Trey Lance has looked like shit. Let's be honest.
He looked like shit in that organization too.
Trey Lance has thrown multiple picks in damn near every practice that the Cowboys have had. Now, what I will say is the biggest piece that they have said about Dak is the fact that he doesn't really understand defenses well enough, that when teams start to disguise their defenses, he gets lost. Now, what I'll say is to all the naysayers, if anybody who knows football knows what Mike Zimmer is, and if you've ever watched a Minnesota Vikings game, nobody, yeah, Jerry Jones is garbage. I will admit to that. But let's be real,
Mr. Matthew Ryan.
If you look at the way they set up, Mike Zimmer sets up his defense. Nobody does better at disguising defenses than Mike Zimmer.
Totally agree.
Dak is very good. Very good.
Dak has thrown touchdown after touchdown after touchdown in practice against Mike Zimmer's defense. So say what you want. The fact of the matter is, when you start to break down what this team is, and in my estimation, you are being a dumbass, and I agree with Matt all the way through. Jerry Jones is a piece of shit when it comes to GM, and I hope this gets to him because I'd like him to hear it. He's worthless when it comes to being a GM. He talks about how he doesn't have money to do the shit that needs to be done. Really? Explain to me how the Eagles have signed both wide receivers, their quarterback, a running back, a new free agent running back, and all their defensive players with no problem under the salary cap, but yet somehow or another, the Cowboys can't even sign their friggin' free agent wide receiver and their soon-to-be free agent quarterback. Has any franchise, and I'll ask you guys this too, has any franchise in the history of the NFL let a 36-win quarterback over 3 years, franchise quarterback, hit free agency? I'll answer that for you. No, it's never happened. Period.
By the way, the Eagles have scored. It's now 12-6 in Baltimore. As Chris is unleashing some passion of his love.
Straight passion. I love it too.
And I'm on my soapbox for a reason, man, because I see that this Jerry-led team, and I will go back in geriatric-led team, is being when it comes to their own. Because I mean, how many times are we going to sit back and listen to Jerry and Steven? Oh, we like to sign our own players because we feel that we drafted them and therefore we're invested. Motherfucker, you haven't signed a free agent worth of shit in 10 years. And now you're giving your own players a hard time. So get the fuck out of here. That's why you have nobody showing up for practices in California, where last year the stadium was packed and you couldn't get in. Now you can get in and sit wherever the hell you like because people are giving up on this damn team. So, Jerry, being relevant isn't working anymore, and people are seeing through your bullshit. And so give me a break with your all in. The only thing you're all in with is your finger up your ass. That's it.
Oh, check your prostate, Mr. Jones.
Love it.
Oh.
And sir, it's East Rutherford. It's East Rutherford Giants. We don't refer to them as the New York Giants on on any show me and my brother do. So
on this
New York guys
this
ain't worth
show,
a shit anyway.
well, on this show, at least on me and this is we call you what city you're in.
Yeah,
That's
what
just
city
what it
you
is.
play in? It's East Rutherford. That's where they play. They do not play nowhere near New York.
even though I really would, even if it's just for one game, have one game at Yankee Stadium to celebrate their 100th
should.
anniversary as a
They should.
franchise, just for old time's sake. Because I mean, can't stand the Yankees, but I just don't know, something about when they make Yankee Stadium into a football stadium, it just screams football to me. Why?
It
I
looks
don't
good,
know,
yeah.
but it just does. And
Agreed.
Matthew Ryan coming with some fire tonight, as he said, only took 30 years for people to figure out something that Jimmy Johnson figured out in 5 minutes. That's a very good take.
Oh, we all knew that. I mean, we all. But yes, that is a very, very good statement.
Oh, by the
I
way,
love that one.
Matt Ryan said earlier that anybody who's actually good at their job gets gone, and people who are essentially just happy to be there and fair just exist in space. Matt, I will argue that with you because I will say it this way.
He said no sympathy for Cowboy fans.
Nope,
Wow, I'm married to a Cowboy fan. That oof.
I have no sympathy for being a Cowboy fan right now, but I will tell you this: there is a gentleman by the name of Will that works for the Cowboys that should be their GM, and by the way, he has been there for the last 20 years and moved up through the ranks. And that man has been there for a long time, and he is not a yes man to Jerry Jones. He has actually argued with him about who should be drafted. So, Will McClay, hats off to you, brother. And I don't agree with you, Matt. I don't say that everybody in that under that roof is just a yes man. I don't agree with that at all. I think Will McClay is anything but, and he does a damn good job at drafting players. And Cowboys have hit on their third cornerback in the last 3 years.
Which, by the way, folks, if you are confused, Chris is making reference to Will McClay, who is the vice president of player personnel in the Cowboys organization. For those that don't know who he's speaking of.
Yes.
And probably one of the better gentlemen to be out there. He has been offered GM positions left and right throughout the NFL and has turned every one of them down to this point.
2 years?
What's that?
Who's going to be the quarterback?
For who?
I think we're talking about the Giants.
The East Rutherford Giants.
East Rutherford Giants. If you ride on Danny Dimes, then
you mean Danny Nichols?
Mr. Flintstone? Mr. Fred Flintstone?
Yeah, if y'all ride with Danny Dimes, then you got to tell me who your quarterback going to be in those 2 years then.
He could throw to the other team in a heartbeat.
Oh, easy.
Well, Drew Luck.
Since he was in college.
Drew Lock did that last night, that's for sure.
Oh, dude. Don't get me started.
But
I'm just calling him what the media calls him.
Casey, he ain't worth a dime. He's barely worth a nickel.
So let me ask you guys this question, because this is more than likely going to be a possibility. Are you gentlemen okay with an 18-game 2-bye-week season that's being proposed up there in the league offices? Now remember, they experimented this back in 1993, and it seemed to have worked. But now this could be a more permanent thing, because considering that you have games on Thursday, then you have the Black Friday game, and now the NFL has taken over Christmas Day, which used to be an NBA staple, and now they're making you choose between pigskin or hardwood now. Then, of course, you got games on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So, do you, or are you okay with an 18-game 2-bye-week NFL season?
Mizzle, I was on my soapbox, man. You go first.
Okay. Well, as you hold on, let's read this comment first.
Don't forget about the comment.
Fan.
Go ahead with what he's asking, and then we'll read the comment after.
For me, the more the football, the better for me. But as long as it's safe for the players and they compensate them well.
Well, see, I go.
I'm all for more football because I love football. It's Christmas, even though it's bullshit football right now, but they're on the field. They're hitting another team. This is like Christmas. So if they can find a way to eliminate some of these preseason games to where, honestly, what is preseason all about? It's scouting the players that's going to be making the team in the practice squad. So if you know what you have and you want, put it out there, run with it, more football. Hey, but as long as the players are safe and they get compensated well, I'm all for it. I don't have nothing against it.
I'll answer it this way. Am I for it? Couple conditions. I want to see the roster expanded.
Yes.
Game day roster needs to go from 46 to 53.
Yes.
I want to see their regular season roster go from 53 to 60, because that is the only way you are going to be able to keep the extra game. I know it doesn't sound like much. It's only one extra game. What difference should it make? It makes a huge difference, especially when you start talking to the college players who are used to playing 13 games and 14 if they have if they wind up playing in a bowl game. So to me, it's simple.
All conference
If you
championship.
want to play, yeah, and if you want to play the extra game, then expand the rosters and make it make sense, because these guys, I can tell you right now, they are not going to pay them anymore. All they're going to wind up doing is giving them another game check. So that being said, expand your damn rosters and make it easier for these guys, so that way we don't have to worry about injuries. Because I could tell you right now, if teams if they're on a lockdown and they've got a 2-game lead going into game 17 and game 18, I can tell you right now, they're not playing their starters.
100%.
You're still going to be in the same position you're in now, where
100%.
you're going to have games at the end of the year that are not competitive because guys are sitting their starters because they're worried about nothing but injury. So if that's the way we're going with this, then like I said, I'm 100% behind it. Expand the game day roster, expand their rosters, and also, without being said, expand the fact of them having more guys that they can pull from on their practice squad as well.
You beat me to it. That was coming right up next. I totally 100% back that. Agreed. And I believe some of the things you said they are trying to negotiate and put into that with the union. So if it's right, I'm for it. But if it's not, expanding the rosters like you said and try to protect these players a little bit more, then I don't want it. I'll stick with what we have now and still suffer the seasons of just having what we got. But it has to be right.
Agreed. I mean, you can't do this half-assed. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, we're going to go into this with an extra game," exactly the way things are. So, and I heard, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but I've heard that there's some ownership that is pressing to get rid of the salary cap as well, because they're saying that if we're going to be doing this with the extra game, we either get rid of the salary cap or we expand it, so that way it is a higher salary cap where it starts at 300 million, period. So let's see where this all goes, because in reality, go ahead, Dub.
I was just saying, I mean, the cap has gone up every single year anyway, so I mean, that would only make, the most logical sense to do that.
Well, I agree, but the salary cap. So I don't know if you guys saw. So the salary cap was going to be impacted here by the $4 billion that the NFL was going to have to pay out for the rights for the NFL. I guess somebody brought them to court. They already won one against this, but there was a judgment that was passed where they're going to have to pay out $4 billion. So that was going to impact the profit sharing. So that's why the salary cap was not going to go up this year the way they thought it was, and next year was going to be impacted too. Now that that whole piece, a judge shot it down and said, "No, we're not doing this." They were given. It was the way it happened was incorrect. Everything was incorrect. So they basically got a stay of execution, and now they don't have to pay that $4 billion. So the salary
they
cap.
looked out.
Yep, the salary cap next year. If you were to go back on overthecap.com in 2025, the salary cap was actually supposed to be 314 million. And it's down to 300 or 260 million instead. So that is a $54 million drop. But that was also they supposedly because of that payout that they were going to have to do. So what are we looking at with the extra game? You're also looking at a bigger profit share because of TV revenue. So that's why I'm saying I want to see the salary cap increase or get rid of the damn salary cap and have a luxury tax like the NBA.
Okay.
By the way, the Steelers threw an interception, so the Texans will hold on for the 20-12 win. It is still 20-13 in Miami, as that's going late in the third. And early into the fourth, it is still 13-6 in favor of the Eagles in Baltimore in the Battle of the Birds, if you will. And oh, by the way, the Boatmen are up 29-22 on the Stampeders. That's also in the fourth quarter up there.
Let's go.
In Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now, as mentioned last time, the Mizzle Dub Show, I want to mention again today, Cowboys Super Bowl champion running back Dwayne Thomas, I guess you can call him the original 33 before Tony Dorsett, one of the 33, passed away at the age of 77. Of course.
Yeah.
Dwayne Harris was part of the 71 Cowboys that gave Tom Landry his first Super Bowl victory. And that was still the closest to ever having a shutout in a Super Bowl, as the Dolphins only put up 3 points, which is still tied for the least amount of points scored in a Super Bowl game, joining them and the Rams that put up 3 points in Super Bowl 52.
Wasn't that the Super Bowl 71-72? Did that happen?
No, 77. 71-72.
Yeah. So
which
the
led
very
to
next
the Dolphins.
Miami went.
Yeah, which led to the Dolphins.
Yes. Super Bowl.
Correct. Yes.
Crazy the way things work out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look at it this way. When the Sea of Hands game happened, Miami was trying to make their fourth consecutive Super Bowl appearance, but Clarence Davis said, "Hold my beer."
Hold it. Take it easy.
And go through all the many hands of Dolphin defenders trying to get the ball off Kenny Stapler's left hand. But Dwayne Thomas passed away at the age of 77, born and raised in Texas, and went to West Texas State.
We were supposed to go back to this, by the way.
So Mr. Shoemate says, I'm a Giants fan, and I'm all for a competent quarterback. And I've always been in this corner, but this is his last season before. Yeah, he's got to go. No more excuses. Should have had excuses last season, even when Saquon was injured. He's a $35 million quarterback. He better get his shit together.
You know what? He's more than a $35 million quarterback, by the way.
And you've got to catch that, young man. The ball hit you in the wrong spot.
So, what the hell? How'd the Cowboys get $29 million worth of salary cap space all of a sudden instead of 12? That's right. So, I want to look at. I'm going backwards. I'm trying to find out where. I mean, they've got. Over the Cap does a pretty damn good job of looking at the quarterbacks as well. And what I will tell you right now is that the interesting part is Daniel Jones is $40 million a year, not $35.
Ooh.
And he is a $160 million hit to his team. But what I want to do is go back and see where the Giants are in cap space, because you would think that they would be a better team. I mean, their defense is actually pretty decent.
Pocket watching.
What's that?
I'm reading Matthew. Why you pocket watching?
Because I'm also watching the Ravens and Eagles right now, and well, I was until the buffering started.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's a bad pass. But right now, here is a list of games tomorrow on Saturday, which is a full-fledged games on Saturday. So tomorrow you have the Commies taking on the Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey, at MetLife. Um, interesting games, as both first-team offenses will play in this game between the Bills and the Bears in Orchard Park, New York.
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
Mizzle's beloved Raiders take the trip to the Twin Cities in Lake Minnetonka to take on the Vikings. Packers and Browns in the Dog Pound. Jaguars at home against the Chiefs. Niners in Tennessee against the Titans. And the Buccaneers in the jungle in Cincinnati. And then in the nightcap, you'll have the Chargers in Inglewood as Jim Harbaugh makes his return back to the NFL. They'll take on the Seahawks.
Ooh.
And in the desert at the Big Toaster, the Saints take on the Cards. And then Sunday, 2 games. The Battle of Horse Teeth and Horseshoes as the John Elways, Denver Broncos. Or the Denver Walmart, since Walmart does own the Broncos.
This is also a fact.
Taking on the Indianapolis Colts. And in Inglewood, it is the Arlington Cowboys and the Inglewood Rams to close out the
and help me understand something.
Slate for this upcoming.
How do you, as a team,
so far?
How do you, as a team like the Giants, only have $9 million in cap space?
That's a meritish question because who knows? I don't know. But nonetheless, folks, welcome to episode 1 of the newly revamped Talking Ish. It's Talking Ish with Dub, Chris, and Mizzle. I'm Dub. That's Chris. That's Mizzle. As we are preparing ourselves for the upcoming football season. As right now we got the Dolphins and Falcons and the Battle of the Birds between the Ravens and the Eagles. It's now tied in Baltimore, 13-13 in the 4th in Baltimore, Maryland, and the Dolphins still holding on to a 20-13 lead over the Falcons in the usual Florida versus Georgia matchup in
Can I ask you guys a real question?
Go ahead.
Both of you are understand football, so this question isn't going to go over anybody's head, but I want to be real. Okay. Would either one of you take Tua on your team right now? Be honest.
Not if I have other options to take a different quarterback. No.
Okay. Just asking. Because in my mind, and when I'm thinking about it, and some of the contracts that have been put out right now, and yes, Matt, I'm pocket watching, so I don't really give a shit. The thing that I don't understand right now with this situation is when I look at the quarterbacks. And so Joe Burrow, $55 million a year. When's the last time he's finished the season? Jordan Love, $55 million a year. What the hell has he done? Trevor Lawrence, $55 million a year. What's he proved? Tua, $53 million a year. Seriously? Jared Goff, $53 million a year. Justin Herbert, $52.5 million a year. Has that man even won a playoff game yet?
No.
Justin Herbert? No, he hasn't.
Has not.
Lamar
Jackson, $52 million a year. Last time I checked, he's 2-4, just like Dak in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts, $51 million a year. Tell me, how'd that man look last year in the end of the regular season?
Oh, not too good.
Kyler Murray, $46 million a year. Has that man ever even had double-digit wins?
He's made the playoffs once.
Just asking.
He
Deshaun
said
Watson,
double-digit wins. He didn't say playoffs, but he did
I
make it to playoffs.
just
Though.
double-digit wins. Deshaun Watson, $46 million a year. By the way, his $230 million contract's fully guaranteed. Has he even finished a season yet?
That's what Matt Ryan said. What I exactly was going to say is that it's the rise of the salary cap. They're paying them market value per se.
Okay, but my point being is, and I wasn't going to go any further than Kirk Cousins, who's making 45, and by the way, Patrick Mahomes is making 45. But what I was going to get at was simply this: when you start to talk about what is the going rate for a quarterback in today's NFL, when you start looking at these $55 million contracts, these well, hell, let's start at 46 and go up. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, which he's at 45, I can name off all these other guys that have been. Two of them have been to the Super Bowl. That's it.
Wow.
Not one of these other guys has been to the Super Bowl.
Okay, besides Mahomes and Burrow and Hurts, are those the only three that have been to the Super Bowl out of those names you just mentioned?
Yep. Those are the only three.
Which unfortunately, well, depends on how you look at it at this perspective, but that just means when Brock gets his payday raise, he's going to be handsomely compensated and put
saying what,
in
60?
No, I'm not going to say 60. I'm not going to say that.
Well, all these other quarterbacks are making 55, and he's been what?
No, I get that, and I mean, Matt Ryan's making some good points. So he just said he has a question. So there are 32. So he says they're one of 32 starters in the toughest job in the toughest league in North American sports, which he is correct on that. Because as Chris has said all the time, 32 starting quarterbacks, but not all 32 are starting quarterbacks. Then he says, how do you solve that economic problem
There's
in
not
a
32 starting
collectively sport?
32 caliber starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
Then he just says, like the meta-textual argument is more interesting to me than the elaborating the fact that these guys make a ton of money. And he says, it's the same doo-doo I can hear anywhere else.
It's the same shit, yeah. But what I'm saying is, when you start to look at this and you say there are 32, yes, there's 32 quarterbacks, starting quarterback positions in the NFL. Are there 32 starting caliber NFL quarterbacks in the NFL? No. I don't care what you say. 32 teams do not have 32 starters. You have guys that I would consider starters in maybe 15 teams. The rest of them, the rest of the 17, nope. Don't care what anybody says. They're not quality starters, nor should they be paid as quality starters. You have teams that are looking for a franchise quarterback and have been looking for franchise quarterbacks for years. So I will go to Denver Broncos, Seattle Seahawks. I won't say the Arizona Cardinals. That's not correct with Kyler Murray. They think they have their franchise quarterback. I don't necessarily agree with that they have a franchise quarterback with him. That argument can be had. So when you start to break it down, and I'm looking at teams, Commanders don't have a franchise quarterback. Patriots don't have a franchise quarterback. Raiders, hell, I can make an argument for the Browns. The Colts, question mark. Buccaneers, Titans, Bears, they think they got theirs. I can make an argument for that, a big argument. The Jets, if you lose
Aaron
Rodgers, who's their backup and who's going to be playing for them as a starter? The Steelers, you can make an argument there because you're saying, okay, well, they've got two. Well, everybody can make that argument. If you have two, you have none, right? We've heard that time and time again.
Yep, I've heard it.
So you look at it, Vikings, who's their starter? They think they got him in the draft this year. The Chiefs, we know what they got. We already said the Steelers. We know what the Rams have. Saints, do they have a starting quarterback?
They would say Derek Carr is a starting caliber quarterback.
He's a starting caliber quarterback. but yet he couldn't stay healthy last year and had problems, right?
Hmm.
Then we start to go down. Giants, we've already made that argument. Broncos, we've already made the argument. Panthers think they have their starter. We'll see what happens. Falcons, well, we know who they drafted. We know who they have in free agency. We'll see what happens with them. So what I'm saying is, yeah, it might be the toughest position to play in the NFL, and everybody can agree with that, but I don't care what anybody says. You don't have 32 starting caliber quarterbacks in the NFL on every team. You just don't.
I don't disagree with that. I don't.
So
and
with
Ryan is right as well. They're starting jobs.
Under 3 to go in Baltimore. It is tied at 13.
I think there's no way for that. I think there's honestly, then how do you establish an economic model for that? I think you can't. You just got to pay the players their market.
Well, here's the situation. When you start to look at market value for a position, we all know where this is going. So the only way to truly cap off what's going on is a hard cap per position. That's the only way you're really going to do it. But the fact of the matter is, large market teams are always going to have the money to spend. I don't care how you break it down. Small market teams are not going to have monies to spend, and that's the reason why. And I could tell you right now, we could go all the way back to when Jerry Jones sued the NFL for the rights of his team. Why did he do that? So that way he controlled the outcome of his team. So when you start to look at what Jerry Jones did money-wise with the Dallas Cowboys, he said, I am not going to market, I'm not going to share my monies with the Cincinnatis of the world, who at the time were spending the league minimum to try to put out a team that was competitive. They didn't give a shit. So that's why they had a salary cap and a salary floor, was because they said, well, you've got to at least spend this much. And that's where that whole thing started. So Jerry Jones was like, screw you. I'm not going to do a profit sharing with these guys when they refuse to put money into the team.
It's almost the same reason why baseball, MLB, they stopped doing revenue sharing, because some small market teams were not spending because they were using
Oakland A's.
Yeah, they're one team, definitely, because I mean, you look at the deal from the TV contracts that they have, and the billions that goes into that. I can see why some owners don't want to do revenue sharing, especially if certain teams are just purposely tanking per se because they have that guaranteed revenue share money, and well, some owners like, you know what, screw that, don't make me suffer because of it. And Matt says, without corporate socialism, the majority of pro sports would be in the toilet.
Oh, baby.
To a certain extent, he's correct.
I'm going to say he's not wrong. I'm going to say he's not wrong.
The thing about this, when you start to break down what's going on in the NFL, when you start to break down by the salary cap, and you start to look at these things, the fact of the matter is, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it until the day I die, if you truly want a salary cap, and you truly want to put this in perspective to where you are not getting outrageous with what you're paying individual players by position, is a salary cap by position. That's the only way for you to truly do this. And that way the players understand you can't go over this dollar figure for your position. So if you say, okay, we're going to cap quarterbacks out at 55 million, and I'm just throwing out numbers, and then we're going to go down from there. Defensive players, every position has a salary cap that you can pay that player. Then you start to look at the way you're paying your players. It's not really a difference, if you will, from team to team. Now teams know, okay, I'm capped at 55 million for my quarterback. I'm capped at, and I'm throwing out numbers, 20 million for my wide receivers. I'm capped at 10 million for my running back, and all the players understand that. Now, Matt is saying, how do you collectively bargain that? The fact of the matter is, it should have been collectively bargained when they started to talk about the salary cap to begin with. But nobody thought about this as individual players, and market value would continue to go up and up and up when you're talking about positions. So that is something that at this point in time is too late to talk about. It is where it is.
By the way, 39-25 with under 90 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. So it looks like the Argonauts will get revenge on my beloved Stampeders for last week. Matt Ryan also asks, how do you value position X over Y?
How do they do it now? How do you have value on positions now? Well, everybody knows that the quarterback is the most highly sought after position because he's got the ball in his hands at every play. So that's your number one position. So that's how it's done. I mean, you could establish it a bunch of different friggin' ways, but right now, that's the way they established it.
Okay.
Interesting information, which there was a trade. I mean, not a major trade, but a trade did happen today in the NFL to where the Cowboys send quarterback Deshaun Wright to the Vikings in exchange for quarterback Andrew Booth. That was reported there by...
Is that a cornerback swap?
Yeah.
Cornerback swap between the Vikings and the Cowboys. That is reported by Tom Pellisorio, Mike Garofalo, and Ian Rappaport. So again, Deshaun Wright going from the Cowboys to the Vikings, Andrew Booth going from the Vikings to the Cowboys.
All right.
And again, Matt Ryan says, but when you cap it at a certain number, you kind of make teams inflexible in actually getting players to solve issues.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that because you have the salary cap where it is a certain percentage of your overall salaries in the top. I think it's the top 15 players or top 20 players. I can't remember how they break it down. The bottom line is when you start looking at those numbers, you're going to be flexible or inflexible depending on how you've paid those players anyway. And realistically speaking, a lot of these teams have clauses in their NFL contracts already to where if I've got a player that I'm paying over, let's say 6 years, and I've got a quarterback that I'm paying over that time, I can make cap space by pushing his cap number down the road and turning his salary into a signing bonus for this year, and then spreading that signing bonus back out over the rest of his contract to make room for me to sign other players. So
and you can backload contracts too.
Yes, and that doesn't make them inflexible. If you have a hard cap per position, that doesn't change the fact that you could still do that and push stuff down the road, especially if they have salary caps that are increasing.
Yeah.
I don't know why you are not working for the front offices of the National Football League. I'll just say it like that.
Well,
I mean, when you think about it, we talk about the salary cap increasing every year. So you have teams that play it smart, and when they want to take a player and they want to say, okay, we don't want this to be a salary cap hit. So what they do is they bring him in. They've already got a clause in his contract. Hey, we're going to give you, your salary this year is going to be $25 million. We're going to give that to you in a signing bonus. We're going to spread it out over the rest of the 4 years that you have. And that gives me the room to go sign other players. And you do the same thing with those other players. So that way, when it comes down to it, the only time that you're caught up is if that player doesn't last the length of the contract that he has signed. So we all know the reason why players argue over signing bonuses and their guaranteed monies is because that's all they're going to see.
Yep.
You have Mahomes that signed a $450 million contract over 10 years, but his guarantee was X. So that's all Kansas City will ever owe him. They could cut him at any point in time after that. So without worry or anything, especially if they designate him for a June 1st cut. So you start to look at the way you manipulate the salary cap, and all these teams have salary cap guys that understand this shit and they play it the way the salary cap's meant to be played. So if I want to pay somebody, and I agree with the talking heads at this point, if you want to pay somebody, you could pay any player you want. The fact of the matter is, do you want to pay them, and how do you play the game? That's what it comes down to. So if I know that I'm going to sign, and I'll use Dak Prescott as a perfect example. If I'm going to sign him for $55 million over 6 years, and I know that at the 6th year, the salary cap is going to go up from today, which is I think it's at 255 million right now. It's going to be 355 million, giving me $100 million worth of salary cap space. I can then turn a lot of his yearly into bonus money that allows me to create salary cap space and go get other players. So crying poor in today's NFL is bullshit.
Well, and that's why they also say rookie contracts are important as well. Like if you got your quarterback under a rookie contract, that also gives you wiggle room to try to build around the quarterback if you want to sign him.
Well, and that's why all rookie contracts for the NFL in the first round are slotted, and they do a 10% increase every year. So that way you don't have guys coming in that they're holding out for, I want $30 million a year because I'm a quarterback.
No more Jamarcus Russell.
Slotted. This is how much you're going to make per year. And then we have your 5th year option, period.
Yeah.
You play like shit, we ain't signing your 5th year option.
Exactly. Yes, I took a jab at my own team. Jamarcus Russell played Al Davis, got paid, got the bag. And that's pretty much why you got a rookie scale now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you had Trey Lance. You had Trey Lance with his 5th year option not get picked up by the Cowboys. 100%. Everybody was saying, "Oh, Trey Lance is going to be the heir apparent to Dak." No, he ain't. No, he isn't. The Cowboys have no quarterback signed for next year. Period.
Wow, I didn't know that. Now that I did not know.
Their backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, free agent. Trey Lance, free agent. Dak Prescott at this point in time, free agent.
Well, that goes without saying. My goodness. Well, I mean,
and you got a CD Lamb problem.
We don't have a CD
and
Lamb
it has
problem.
gone.
The only problem that the Cowboys have is a Jerry Jones problem.
When I was saying by CD Lamb, that I meant by Jerry Jones. I should have just came out and said Jerry Jones, but yes.
Yeah. We got a Jerry Jones problem. That boy thinks that everybody's cool with them and I'm sure he's sitting out because he sits in that tower every so often at the practice fields, and he can see all around him. I'm sure he's looking at all the empty seats right now that were filled last year and asking himself one big question: what the fuck is going on? Well, I can tell you, Jerry, everybody sees what you're doing. Everybody's calling you on your bullshit, and you're all in talk during the offseason. We all know it's bullshit. So you've got a bunch of Cowboy fans that are basically telling you, hey, fuck you. We're not going to support the team the way you want us to anymore because all you're worried about is getting to the playoffs. You really don't care about getting to the Super Bowl.
Hell, I don't even think he care about the team that much anymore.
Well, he damn well better. That's what feeds him.
And Skip Bayless can't defend him no more because he's off TV.
Fuck Skip Bayless. He wasn't real to begin with.
Skip Bayless dug his own grave with television.
Well, it might go from bad to worse now because now Fox is thinking about making Nick Wright the face of the network.
And that is the worst move they could do right there. That is,
and that might put Fox Sports 1 in the grave. You
need somebody with a backbone to take over, and you need going to be out there understanding what they're talking about, how they're going about it. And Skip just wanted to pick fights with everybody.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong on that. You are definitely not wrong on that. And for those that are just tuning in, whoa, Mr. Shamar coming in hot. So the Mouse House is just buying everything. Okay. Didn't know Mickey had that type of money.
They get money every time the sun rises and the park is open.
Maximum effort. That's all I can say.
Who is now
Wait a
part of
minute.
the Mouse House?
So okay. So that means, are we gonna have ESPN and Fox joint sports collaboration since Disney owns both of them?
But hold on. Here's a very interesting piece. If this is correct, they're saying Walt Disney Company acquired Fox in March of 2019.
Wow.
So why did it take so long for these changes to happen if they have already owned Fox for 5 years?
Bunch of lawyers, money, figures, payouts.
Is that the reason why Bob Iger came back? Because he was retired. That lays in another question.
That could be a slight reason.
Well, all I know is I wish ABC Sports would become ABC Sports again, but we don't. That's never going to happen. But hey, a boy can wish. But nonetheless, welcome to the newly revamped lineup of Talking Ish with Dub, Chris, and Mizzle. Hi, how are you guys? As talking about some things going on in the NFL front offices and in these preseason games. But I will say that it is final in Toronto. The Argonauts defeat the Stampeders 39-25, as now both teams go to 4-4 on the season.
Yes.
Canada, our home and native land. Hey, it's a very good. It is a no. Actually, the Canadian national anthem is one of the best national anthems.
I don't disagree.
It is a very well sung national anthem.
Agreed.
I know when I was watching the Stanley Cup Finals between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, and how the whole crowd in Edmonton was singing the anthem. I guarantee you wouldn't get many. I guarantee you wouldn't get many Americans to try to sing the Star Spangled Banner. I'm just saying.
I mean, I can.
There.
Well, there's been times that they have, but interesting. The Dolphins are beating the Falcons.
Oh, that game's over.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it said 32 seconds. My bad.
Yep, that's over.
32 seconds.
So, Dak not practicing with ankle soreness. Drew Lock, unfortunately.
Yeah, I won't tell you what they said about that earlier.
Drew Lock, unfortunately, sustained an oblique injury, so he's going to be out for some time. Don't know how long that's going to be, but that sucks.
Yeah.
The Niners decided to add. I'm not going to say what he calls himself to me because yo mama named you Robbie Anderson. I'm going to call you Robbie Anderson, but
Chosen
Anderson is the newest addition to the Santa Clara 49ers amidst all the Brandon Ayuk talks. Of course, Anderson did go to college at Cal Berkeley. Nick Foles decides to call it a career after 11 years. Helped the Eagles win their first Super Bowl and win their first NFL championship since 1960. When the backup quarterback
got a statue.
When the backup quarterback defeated Tom Brady in Super Bowl 52.
You give him a statue.
Well, I mean, he is that guy. He threw for 373 yards and 3 TDs. And 1 pick in Super Bowl 52, of course, caught the touchdown pass, known as the Philly Special. So, Nick Foles, who played for the Rams, Chiefs, Jaguars, Bears, Colts, last appeared in the NFL in 2022 with the Colts, but he will never have to buy dinner ever in Philadelphia again with the fact that because he brought the Eagles their first Super Bowl championship. Also, Saints signed Warner.
Hold on, my desk has as many rings as the Philadelphia Eagles. Just the one. I just moved my glass. Hold on, I'll make it 2. Now they have more rings than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh boy! Oh baby!
Man.
The Saints signed linebacker Pete Warner to a 3-year deal, which is $17.5 million guaranteed. 3 years.
Can't talk about the NFL East with me, man. I'm just out. Anyway, sorry.
DK Metcalf apparently wants to do his best Myles Garrett impression and wants to swing his helmet at teammates. And supposedly, despite what Harrison Butker said, the Chiefs decided to make Harrison Butker the highest paid kicker in the NFL with a contract extension for him. Joe Gibbs was at
all three of us should go out there and start kicking. We can make millions. You could. All you have to do is hit 70%. 70% of your field goal attempts, and we can make millions. I'm telling you.
Man.
Even as old as my ass is, if I can make it from 40 yards, 50 yards, I'm good.
Me just getting that's a lot of practice.
Colts receiver Josh Downs suffered a high ankle sprain in practice, and he will miss an estimated 4 to 6 weeks. That's coming from Ian Rappaport.
It's bad.
That happened as he was tackled in 7-on-7 drills. Unfortunately, Rondell Moore, wide receiver for the Falcons, he's out for the season with a knee injury, which was put in an air cast.
No bueno.
So Justin Simmons. Yes, Justin Simmons is still out there, and yes, he is still out there unsigned.
Whoa. I forgot he had a visit with the Saints, and he's still out there?
Yeah, but
still unsigned.
How old is he?
He
like
is
29?
31.
30? Okay.
31.
Okay.
And I think that's part of the problem. It's the same reason why Stephon Gilmore played for the Cowboys last year is still a free agent as well.
He is still out there as well.
It's age. Yeah. And these guys, the thing about it is, and I'll even though I don't like to give him credit, I will. And that is the fact that when you got T.O., who can still at 50 drop everything and run a 4.40, isn't in the NFL right now. It's because it's strictly because of age. They start to look at age and they say, "Oh, this shit, it ain't working." So
yeah,
is what it is.
Did the Eagles just walk off?
Who cares? They can walk off. Shit.
Oh, we just talking. You know what? See, I understand it. I understand it.
Now you know why we out here talking ish.
Anytime he mentions something about a team I don't like, why the fuck we got to talk about that team? Who gives a shit?
That's my.
But we're doing the show.
The hell with them.
That's right. The hell with them.
Hold on, I'm gonna send you both something real quick.
Yes, sir.
I wish I could put it on here, but I'm gonna send it to you guys. This is.
You can if it's
maybe we can.
This is if you guys want to put this up. This is why the Eagles fans, they gotta actually act like they've won before. If not, they friggin' out there eating shit from the horses, from the police.
Oh, I've seen this video. I've seen it. I have seen. Yeah, that was
like, dude, come on, man. Come on, act like you've been there before. Oh, that's right. You haven't. You haven't been there before. That's why you eating more shit.
That is disgusting. Anyhow, the Seahawks signed Connor Williams, lineman, to a 1-year deal worth $6 million. As he has played for the Dolphins. So the Seahawks adding to their depth on the offensive line as just over news here. Kyler Murray will not play in the preseason.
Sounds about right.
Not shocking. And again, back to the neighbors and Joseph for the Lions with that fighting in the joint practices.
Cost them a nice.
The Commanders have Jaden Daniels listed as their number 1 quarterback to open the preseason.
Not shocking.
There you go. Jim Harbaugh is being summoned as the NCAA is handing Michigan, or the NCAA hands Harbaugh a 4-year show cause order. As the NCAA announces a 4-year show order causing former head coach Jim Harbaugh for impermissible contact with recruits and players during the COVID-19 pandemic, effectively banning him from college athletics until August of 2028.
That's so. He'll retire from coaching football.
There's a reason why you go from coaching college to coaching pro.
Ain't the same reason why Pete Carroll left USC, because the sanctions that was coming down on USC.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yep.
This is nothing new.
Oh.
He ain't going back.
But still, Pete, it does not take away the fact that you still made the dumbest play call in Super Bowl history. So
Absolutely.
you went from
not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch. I agree to that all day, every day.
You went from avoiding trouble with USC to the dumbest play call in the history of the Super Bowl, because you had the Golden Boy sad, about to cry himself a river.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the only difference is
you could probably say Nick Saban too. You can throw Nick Saban name probably up in there. He's just smart enough and just ain't got caught.
Oh, he did go to Miami for a few years. Everybody knows that was forgettable.
Hey. See, that's that Florida State Seminole coming out right there.
Well, don't
take me down that road, because you know as well as I do that Florida State would have been a different outcome if we had our quarterback.
Yep.
And if all those players decided to play, but because we were undefeated and they decided to push that shit of we gonna have these teams hop Florida State.
Chris, this man caught all of my passion. The moment they announced that, it was, if we was on live TV, there was no, or on radio, there would have been no way in hell you'd heard any kind of sentence coming out of my mouth, because all you heard was bleep, bleep, bleep. Well, me and him at all, I was hot.
Can I put it this way? I'm just gonna put it this way. It was some bullshit.
100%. Anyway. Oh, Matt Ryan coming in with the fire, because the pyramid scheme, the Ponzi scheme. Ooh,
Matt Ryan must be.
To a certain extent, I agree with him, because when you think about it,
come on with the fire.
You got all these teams that are making millions off the backs.
They want the money.
College players.
That's what they went with. They went with the money.
Yep.
Like you said, Jordan Travis wasn't there, so the money ain't there to go take on the top. Even though we had one of the best defense in the fucking nation, by the way, it just wasn't Jordan Travis. We had defense, the best in the fucking country. But they went with the money. I understand. It was a business decision.
Yep.
I'm still gonna bitch about it, but it was a business decision. I understand.
It's interesting this year because we're gonna have 12 playoff teams.
Oh, we in there. We in there.
And so when you want to get your money, and you want to get your money right, the one thing that you got to understand is, guess what's gonna happen?
Hey, we might get. You can't play that. You can't. They will flag us. They'll flag us. No. Anything that's not. Anything has to be natural. They will definitely. I've seen a couple of our shows get flagged for some odd reason. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out. But no, let's be careful with what we play.
Don't be loyal to the same fan base that you would run off campus because you missed a catch in a football game.
Oh, well, shit, that's damn near every one of them.
DJ Ugly will break your heart. Of course, he's talking about DJ. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, who did transfer from...
I think it's Ugly. I think it's pronounced Ugly. I could be wrong.
That's the former baseball player.
Oh,
but no.
Well,
but DJ did... DJ did transfer from Oregon State to Florida State, so we'll see how.
As long as the running game is solid, he might be okay.
What's the football player that has a last name that nobody wants to pronounce?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, the newest member of Eastern Michigan.
What's his last name?
Mr. Noah.
Mr. What?
Mr. Noah. Which, by the way, if you don't know, yes, folks, he actually is playing college ball at Eastern Michigan this year.
Yes.
Talking about one missed. Well, you know what? I'm just going to show the picture, folks. But yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, him. He is going to Eastern Michigan. to play some football. Yeah, that name right there, folks. Yes, Mr. Noah going to play some ball at
I didn't ask for his first
Keystone
name. I asked for his last name.
You know he gonna keep it 100% professional right about now.
It's with the soft A though. We're okay.
Hey.
No, I can say it, but to the people that don't know that I am biracial, they would think, what is this white man saying that name for? So, hence why I didn't say that.
You sure
But
it's
how
not
did they
Nagin?
pronounce
You
How
sure
did
it's
they
not
pronounce it? They
Nagin?
don't pronounce
It's
it.
not Nagin. Is it not
No.
Nagin? I know what
Oh,
it is.
no.
I'm being an ass right now. I
Of
know
course
what it is.
you
I
are.
know how it's pronounced.
You're being Deadpool. But yes, Noah you know what, has committed himself to
Nia.
Eastern Michigan.
You say it like that. Nia.
Yeah. We're talking some ish, Mr. Franklin. That's what we mother effers
It's
up here
the name of
talking
the
about.
damn show.
Talking.
Of course, we out here talking
about
shit.
So, just a friendly reminder for those. Well, Will Franklin would know better than anybody, but just to remind the good viewers that are watching us here on this revamped Talking Ish with Dub, Chris, and Mizzle. This is our first episode with the three of us, and we love you back, Mr. Franklin.
Hey, love you too, sir. Straight up.
All right,
Love you, brother.
It is
Wait,
final. So
Sorry,
just just a reminder. Finals tonight. Texans beat the Steelers 20-12. Dolphins beat the Falcons 20-13, and the Ravens lose to the Eagles 16-13. Yesterday, Patriots beat the Panthers 17-3. Lions and the Giants. Giants just beat the Lions 14-3.
Mr. Franklin was at the game.
He just left the. Will, do you want to come on real quick and tell us what you saw at the Big Crab Cake in Baltimore? Let us know.
And I know you were running down the scores real quick, Dub, but Michael Penix, from the highlights, he looked pretty decent out there. I mean, I know he was going up with whatever he was going up against.
I'd like to see him first.
Of course, but just for him to be out there, he looked, he didn't look rattled. Like how a rookie would look.
The game's too big for Phoenix. I really don't. I think Phoenix is going to be fine.
I agree.
The games that I'm interested in. So tomorrow we got the Commanders and Jets. Don't care. I'm just going to be honest. Bears and Bills. Don't care. Vikings and Raiders. I do care about this game because I think that the Raiders are going to start some of their starters, and I think the Vikings will too.
They are.
Packers and Browns. I've already heard that Packers and Browns will be playing their first string players for the first quarter. Don't know if that's true. I would say maybe for the first offensive series, you might see them, but that's as far as I'll go. The Buccaneers and Bengals that's also on Saturday. That should be a decent game. I don't know who's going to be starting in that. 49ers and Titans. Again, interested to see what goes on because I think that the 49ers second and third team players are good enough to beat the Titans. Chiefs and Jags, interested in seeing what happens with this game because backups on both teams. We got to see where they're at. Seattle and the Chargers, another decent game. I think that you're looking at two teams that are going to be vying for playoff contention. Saints and Cardinals, don't give a shit. Broncos and Colts, don't give a shit. Rams and Cowboys, obviously. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I think the Cowboys are going to be winless in the preseason because I don't think they're going to play any of their starters. And the reason why I say I don't give a shit is because I look at the Broncos and the Colts. Broncos really going anywhere? Doubtful. Colts, we know Richardson is coming back to play quarterback for them. We'll see what he's able to do. Broncos, who's their quarterback? Plain and simple.
That is the question. We know they drafted Bo Nix, but right now Sean Payton has listed Jarrett Stidham as the number one quarterback on the depth chart for the Broncos. So he'll probably get the first team reps if he does play tomorrow, or should I say on Sunday? That game's on Sunday. But interesting to see now. I know you've been talking some ish on this guy. What are you look? What's the first? What's the few things that you'll be seeing if you get the chance to see Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears first team offense?
I don't think we're going to see them. The thing about Caleb Williams is, I've been hearing everybody pump him up in in their practices. I haven't seen one of them yet. Um, we all know that the game speed is much different when you're playing than when you're
Uh,
practicing,
Absolutely.
even if you're going up against another squad. So I'm interested to see where this takes him. The biggest thing about it is we have all seen Caleb Williams and what his lack of interest in games sometimes can be, especially when he's playing against better teams. We saw that at USC for sure. Um, and I want to see what if everybody's, oh, he's a mature kid, he's doing this, he's doing that. Show me. I still think
Yeah.
it was a mistake drafting him number one. I still think that they should have kept Justin
Ooh.
Fields in Chicago. I still think that Caleb has a lot to show throughout this season, and I think that he is going to throw more picks than touchdowns in this NFL season.
He's gonna go through some growing pains. He's
Oh,
gonna have that.
Yeah.
He's gonna have that rookie pain.
but my question mark is always going to be: is he truly as mature as everybody keeps saying he is? Because that's definitely not what you got from him in college.
Well, no, maybe this could be a grown up lesson for him. Maybe
Well,
college was.
we'll see if he gets smacked around in the NFL.
Oh, he's gonna have that welcome to the NFL moment. He'll definitely
think
have
he will.
that.
Yeah.
So, Mizzle, what are you looking? What's the one thing you'll be paying attention to as you scout the Raiders for the first time as they take on the Vikings tomorrow at 1 p.m.?
Offensive line. Who's gonna take over this quarterback position? And I mean, I pretty much know what the defense is gonna bring. They're pretty much coming back with what they started with last year, ended with last year. I'm more looking forward to see what Brock Bowers and Mayer are going to do together on the field together to see how that's going to come into fruition. But I just really want to know who's going to take over this quarterback. I think we missed on not getting a quarterback. I mean, I like Aiden O'Connell. He might be serviceable. Gardner Minshew is a serviceable quarterback, but like Chris was saying, we don't have that quality starter caliber quarterback. Because if in that case, Minshew would have been a starting quarterback in the league when he came out. So he's a serviceable. He's like Rich Gannon until Rich Gannon came to the Raiders. So I'm looking to see who's going to take that over and the running back position. Let's see how Zeus is going to handle the starting role that Josh Jacobs is going. So it's a few little things that I'm more going to pay attention to on the offensive side and just see who's going to be able to keep up with Max's energy and the second stringers, because I already know who our first stringers are going to be. So just pretty simple. Not too much. Or one more thing, to see how this offense is going to be now, because we do have a new offensive coordinator. He came from Chicago. So to see I know it's going to be vanilla, but to see if he's going to sprinkle in something different, like, okay, I can see how that might work, So that's about it. Ask me this on the third preseason game when they really implement the offense, because they're prepping for week 1. So let's come back to that question on week 3 of the preseason. Might be give you a fair answer.
Well, for me, I'm very excited to see Dominic Mooney, the draft pick from Kansas. He's had a real good camp for the Niners. Possibly could be a starter on that right side of the offensive line now that Spencer Burford is hurt. Interesting to see how he's going to play. Can Jalen Moore take the next step into possibly being a part of this offensive line? How will Brandon Parker play a key? I'm really interested in seeing D. Winters and Jalen Graham, the two linebackers, who will take that next step to perhaps being that guy warming up the seat for the returning Dre Greenlaw later on in the season. I know Graham and Winters
is he still hurt?
Yeah, Greenland's not going to be back till like later in the season.
I mean, whoa.
Because I mean he's already on the pup list, so there's that start. But really anxious to see him if they can take that next step. Even though I do want to see Tatum Bethune, the other linebacker that they drafted from Florida State, your guys' linebacker.
I already know.
Anx-
You're damn right.
Anxious to see him get on the field, but I'm really interested in seeing Jalen Graham and D. Winters perhaps solidify themselves and perhaps joining Fred Warner on that linebacker side to sit around. I really want to see how Nick Sorensen is going to run this defense with getting insight from Brandon Staley. I know Brandon Staley is not a very good head coach, but as far as putting defenses together, he is very good at that. So I want to see what kind of scheme that him and Sorensen have worked on. Anxious to see Josh Dobbs get some playing time to see if he can solidify himself as the backup quarterback behind Brock Purdy. Really want to see Danny. I really want to see Danny Gray, the receiver from SMU, because I still believe in his talent, and hopefully he can stay healthy to show his talent. So yeah, I mean those are the few things I'm looking forward to seeing when my team takes on the Tennessee Titans in Nashville, Tennessee.
Question for the both of you guys.
All right.
How do you feel about this new kickoff rule? Has it changed your perspective? Like they should keep the same rule, or do you like the direction they're going in?
I kind of like the direction because they're not taking the kicking game. I mean that game away like they were in the past because they're so worried about concussions. So I like the fact that they're actually letting these guys return, and I think we can see a difference in the game like we do in A7. I know that it's an untimed down with the throw off, but I think you can see games change because realistically speaking, nobody can move until the ball either hits the ground or is caught by the receiver.
Yes.
So it's going to be, to me, it's going to be a big difference in how you approach the coverage because you can't move until the ball is touched or hits the ground. So it gives the advantage, in my estimation, to the receiving team. So you've seen it in preseason games already where they're not doing a whole lot in blocking schemes. They're keeping it kind of vanilla. But once the season starts, that's where we start to see some other shit come into play.
I love that. Dub?
Hopefully, it will bring back the element of the return because
yes,
I mean, how many times has a return jumpstart a team to get them back into a game, and how many times has it led to a win? I mean, I still go back. 31 years ago when Eric Metcalf's 2 returns against the Steelers changed everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, we always talk about defense, offense, and special teams. I mean, like I said, we just saw last weekend Devin Hester pretty much get enshrined just for being a returner. And being
he was doing that at Miami though too.
That's true. But what I'm saying is now
he brought that into the NFL, and he also was decent at wide receiver and corner.
True, but what I'm saying is because he enhanced the return game, taking it over from what Dion did.
100%.
Hopefully, guys like Eric Metcalf and guys like Mel Gray can now get, and guys like Brian Mitchell and Dave Mega can now get some recognition because these guys were huge in the return games.
Well, hell, Gale Sayers was a great return man too, and not just a great running back.
Absolutely, a very factual statement. But I mean, yeah, now you could start. If we're gonna put in kickers and punters, and then we possibly could put returners in too. I'm just saying.
I don't disagree.
Why not? The door has been
as
open.
as much as we may not like the person that he's become, but AB was a good special teamer before he lost his mind. Steve Smith was good on special teams as a returner.
Are we forgetting about Dante Hall?
Oh, I was getting there, brother. Well, see, that's a damn Chief. Fuck out of here with that. He was going to be very last.
But
I was going to get there. Hey, just like how you felt about the Eagles, that's how I felt about a Chief player, man.
Yeah, but the only thing is I can't say that I've ever had an Eagle player that was, head and shoulders above another player on my squad at any given point in time. So
okay, I'll give you that one.
Whether you're talking Shady McCoy, or whether you're talking
touche.
One of the wide receivers or anybody like that, there's nobody that I could point to on the Eagles squad that was head and shoulders like a Dante Hall, head and shoulders above who I had on my squad. So we've had our times. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand where you're coming from, though.
Oh yeah. It's if we're gonna talk that, like you say, Dove, there's a few more that can get in, like Devin Hester. Hell, Tyreek Hill was damn near good at kick returning before they found out he could play wide receiver. I still think he ain't no good route runner, but it's whatever.
He ain't the greatest route runner.
He's just fast.
That part, he's just fast and can run. But eventually, you're going to have to learn to run routes this game because, the thing about Chris Carter. Chris Carter was not the fastest, but he was one of the great
routes and had hands. Oh my good hands!
But yet he always seemed to find the end zone too. But like I said, he was not fast.
You don't have to be fast, man. If you know how to run.
If you can get that separation, that's all you need to do. Get separation.
The thing that people don't understand: separation comes at the top of the route, not in the route. And so you have to understand the get off from the line of scrimmage, and you're talking to an ex-wide receiver, so you got to understand the get off from the line of scrimmage. And then
that's why Devontae Adams is so great because he gets off the line so quick.
It's not really just about the get off; it's also about, like I said, the top of your route. So most of these young men that are running routes, they don't understand the nuances of making a cornerback flip his hips the opposite way of where you're truly going at the top of the route.
Devontae Adams.
That's why I've been on the Keenan Allen bandwagon since Cal Berkeley.
Oh, well, Keenan Allen is one of them dudes too. Oh, most definitely.
I'll tell you one of the best route runners in the NFL right now. Most people don't understand this. He used to be a Cowboy, used to be a Raider, and now he's with Cleveland. And
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, one of the best.
Amari Cooper was running routes like that in Alabama.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue. Amari Cooper is a route runner. Oh yes, 100%.
Which is why I would have not been mad. Which is why I would have not been mad if they decided to send Ayuk to the Browns because
you would have won in that trade. Purdy would have had Debo, Kittle, and Amari Cooper. I'm glad that didn't happen. Shit.
But not to mention that was going to make Ricky Pearsall even better in his route running as he already is right now. That's the main reason why I was like, okay.
Just think what that.
Yes.
Just think what that would do for Bell.
Him too, absolutely.
But yeah, Amari Cooper. Yeah, Chris, 100%. Amari Cooper is a damn good route runner.
Yep.
He's fluid. It's like
what it is it's the capability of understanding if your man is playing you man up, if he's shading you inside or outside.
Yep.
And the routes that you want to run. So I've always told my wide receivers that I was coaching, if you have him shading you to the inside, then show him your first move as an inside move because 100%. He's going to jump on you. So that's what you want to show them, even though your route is an out route. You want to show them what they feel you're going to run and take them into that help because then they're leaning on that help and you're breaking out. So it's the nuances of route running that makes sense
100%
to players that have, guys that have played this game. And also it also makes sense when you get a corner to flip his hips the wrong way. The minute you get them to flip their hips the wrong way and
Got
you
him.
undercut them, you got them. And
Got
if you
him.
do that at the top of your route with just a simple, and all it is a hard step to the inside or outside, make them flip their hips thinking you're going one way, break it back the other, you're wide open, and you don't have to be fast to do it.
Just got to be precise in your route running. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
You have that. But now just imagine being fast and you can route run. Whew. Then you are
route concept.
A1.
You got something. You're not just running by people, and that was, we've had a lot of wide receivers in the NFL that were just fast, and they just use that speed to run by corners. But in reality, if you know how to run routes, when that speed leaves you as you get older, you can still play in the NFL because you know 100%. How to get over.
There it is.
Plain and simple.
I.e., as brother just said, Chris Carter.
Yep. Prime example. Because even when and Double love this, even when his boy wasn't running by anybody anymore.
Jerry Rice
in the NFL, Jerry Rice knew how to run routes. So
even in Seattle, he was getting touchdowns.
Exactly.
I mean, even when he came to my team, he was still getting open. The only thing that I hate that man has a tarnished L on his Super Bowl record because he donned a silver and black uniform.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, but he still got open.
Love the game.
No. I'm just saying this just as a fan, that's somebody,
like to see him as 4-0 in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Not have any losses, no dings.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had that. And it took my organization to tarnish that. That burns, man. That burns. Because he's a goat.
Now, as I'm sitting here when you guys were talking about,
damn you, Bill Callahan. Damn you, Bill Callahan.
As we're sitting here and I'm thinking about what you guys said about who you want to watch, I'm looking at the players that I want to watch on my squad, because we did lose quite a few players, especially on the offensive line. Two players that jump out to me is Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe.
Yes.
So I want to see how Guyton, and he's been sick. I want to see how he does. I don't know if he's playing on Sunday, but what he was able to do against Micah Parsons was impressive in practice, and I want to see if he continues that, because if he does, dude, that whole left side of that line is going to be impressive as hell. Eventually, Cooper Beebe is just a mauler, and right now they're saying he's actually behind one of the other players for the starting center, but that's also because you get the dude is a vet, and you kind of want, it's tough to play a rookie right off the bat at center, especially a guy that didn't play center. So I'm looking at him, and then one of the ones that I was looking at in practice was Marshawn Nealon. Dude, this kid has no quit in his game, and I did not realize his bend is absolutely impressive coming around the corner. So I'm looking at him, and then the last one is the one that impressed me the most because of where he was picked, and he's been picking passes left and right against the Cowboys starters, which is Kalen Carson from Wake Forest. The kid is just been impressive as all hell, and he has proven that he deserves a spot on this 53-man roster. Interested to see what he does, because I think they're going to play him outside from the get-go in these preseason games, and he has shown he can run with damn near anyone.
Well, for me, I am really psyched to see Jackson Powers Johnson suited up for the Raiders.
You still in?
No, because I mean,
This is why all three. See, now I know why Chris wanted this show, because all three of us have some form of a wavelength to where we are. Because me and Chris gave a preview of how this was going to happen on the last show we just did, how we all think. damn it, if you just not steal my thunder, because I was gonna ask Chris about that because he wanted his Cowboys to draft. So damn you, you stole the whole thunder.
But my question mark was created. My question mark is, where is Powers Booth playing? Because he could play guard and he could play center.
We can put him at guard. Well, right now he's not going to play center because we just signed Andre James to like 3 years. So at least for like 2 to 3 years, for 2 years. I know it's a 3-year contract, but we already know how you can feel like the second year of a 3-year deal. If you're not panning out, we can move this young man because he's a rookie. Listen to the rookie contract. So he might play 1 or 2 years somewhere on the offensive line, but if he does pan out and Andre James is not panning out as a center, we can move him because we still have rookies on the offensive line to where we can with the contracts. But I'm just interested to see where he's going to play as well.
I mean, anytime you got players that are maulers that just go out there and hit people,
and he wants them all,
and they understand their capabilities and how to anchor, especially at center or at guard. Those guys are very impressive because 90% of your runs come off tackle, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say that at all. If you're going to do a trap play, guard tackle, your guard better be able to get to the next level.
He better know how to pull. You better know how to pull. You got to be able to pull.
But I will say this: who is the best pulling guard in the NFL
now?
No, who was?
Ooh, you hit me.
Definitely Gene Upshaw was one of them.
Of course.
Got one better than him.
Of course.
What team did he play for?
My Cowboys.
Oh,
Larry Allen?
Larry?
I mean, 100%.
100%. Wait, 100%. Hey, I'm not
okay. Here's what
Larry
you need to know
Allen
about.
Was a monster. No.
Here's what you need to know about Larry Allen.
Monster.
And it's on
caps.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. Okay. Go to YouTube. Type up 2001 Cowboys versus the Colts. That's all you need to know about Larry Allen. Because one particular
over him that game.
Because one particular touchdown drive the Cowboys went on, you heard John Madden call Larry Allen's name about 5 times. I'm telling. Go to YouTube, Colts Cowboys.
Chris,
I want to say it's 2000 or 2001, and just watch Larry Allen go to work.
Chris,
yeah.
Am I lying? I'm not lying when I say monster in all caps.
Dude, that man. So Larry Allen and I were born the same year.
Oh shit!
That man was
Sonoma State.
700 pounds.
Monster.
And he literally, I watched him, and I wish I was kidding about this. Dub hit it. If you watch that Colts game, that's only one. But you watch some of his when he gets to pull, and you see guys, you literally see defensive players running away from him.
Yep.
Seriously running away from him. And there was a quote that I loved. There was a dude that said he was supposed to play over Larry Allen. Actually, it was Booger McFarland.
It's recent.
He was about him recently after he passed. He said, he goes, man, he switched with who was it from Tampa Bay?
Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp. It was Warren. Yep.
They came to see you and him battle, not me and him battle. And he made him sweat. And Warren Sapp said Larry Allen wore his ass out.
100%. That's actual fact.
Tell you everything you need to know.
100%.
Larry was incredible coming from Sonoma State. Seriously?
Yes, Sonoma State.
Yes, Sonoma State. Yes.
Seriously.
Sonoma State.
And if you see him back then, if you see him at Sonoma State, there was times where he was leading the damn running back down the field. Like he was a damn fullback, knocking people on their ass.
Facts. Monster.
I mean, damn. Yeah,
Big facts
definitely.
on that one. Big facts on that one, Chris.
Answer.
Love it.
But
Love that one.
nonetheless, don't forget, folks. We will. So we'll just say it like this. It's going to be a collaboration. It's going to be Mizzle and Dub Show / Talking Ish with Dub Chris Mizzle / the Joppos, because our yearly NFL prediction show is coming to where we will give our division winners who will make the playoffs.
I know we did damn near 6 hours last year.
Are we going to give our picks too?
Oh, if are we combining shows? We damn near might do 10 hours. We might have to start that bad boy early.
Yeah, we got to start that. We got to be careful the day we pick.
We got to start because
I'm gonna start drinking early.
You said the Pernada brothers. You said us. Now you didn't combine this show. Look, we already we're almost at 2 hours right now for our first show. We're almost at 2 hours for our first show. So can you imagine just us?
Oh shit! I can guarantee you, me and Josh are gonna go at it for at least an hour.
I need that passion,
but I need it. I need it. I will.
Josh and I will be gonna go at it for at least an hour, and you guys are gonna back me when he starts putting words in my mouth, and I'm going, Josh, I never said that.
I'm gonna be that gift with the popcorn. I'm gonna be the guy with the popcorn. You know, when the dude just he sit back in the recliner, he just grab his popcorn. That's gonna be me.
Dude, all I know is I'm gonna have my cup, and every time Josh starts in on me, starts talking about you said this, I'll be like, uh-huh.
Well, I'll definitely have plenty of tequila and Michelob Ultra for that show because it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just telling you, our last show went damn near 6 hours. This one,
we're talking NFL, bro. Lonzo, you got to jump on here early, man.
Exactly.
Talking pro football.
Which, by the way, folks, coming up.
I'm not worthy. Hold on, I'm not worthy.
Coming up tomorrow at 40.
I am going to wear I'm gonna go buy some Depends because oh my goodness, y'all don't understand what's going down tomorrow.
So with that said, folks, it is the Bloodline Sports Podcast, which is coming on at 4 Eastern, 7 Pacific, to where the Bear and Zoe will have 2/3 of this panel, as Chris and Mizzle will be a part of the show, along with the boss man, Derek Duncan. But also coming on the show will be Oakland Raiders legend and Super Bowl champion, the one, the only, Phil Villapiano will be on the show, and that's why Mizzle said he needs to go buy some Depends, if you will, because, I mean, if you thought he lost his stuff when Jeff Barnes appeared on the show, I don't know what he's going to do.
He's going to be like a little girl, yay!
And so just said Uncle Phil is super hyped. So I know for one thing,
if he's super hyped,
hopefully Dad and Unc will be.
I'm already gonna send Dad the link. I already talked to Pop already about it. He's already ready for it. So yeah,
I bet he is.
They both.
You know what? I got to reach out to Mike Tice, see if I could get him on here.
Mike Tice, don't play with my emotions.
No.
Don't.
No, I kid you not. And I've talked about this all
I
the
am
time.
a huge Mike Tice fan. That guy is tremendously huge.
I know. Trust me.
Oh yeah, we measured his measurables. We know
Mike Tice is huge, and he was damn good on the Viking staff. Let's just
6'8".
Oh my God!
No, but like I said, no.
Arm reach, his arm measurables was what, 85 inches?
One of the best moments of my young broadcasting career. We go back to last year in Bullhead City.
Was this in Bullhead, brother?
Bullhead. So me and Scotty are going to do a sideline report, and we're going, and Country K, shout out to Country K, is on camera, and next thing you know, out of nowhere, here comes Coach Tice just towering over me and the Viking. We're just like, oh, hi, Coach Tice, how are you? Thoughts on the game? Now, unfortunately, that did not air in the broadcast. The other sideline report did. But I'm just like, we just got video bombed by a former NFL head coach and a former NFL player.
It's a good thing that my little piece with him didn't air either, because they were like, he and I are standing on the sidelines talking about the game, and he's like, "Man, this game's way better than the fully padded game that we watched earlier. This game's fantastic." And I'm like, they radio down, "Hey, can you have Mike Tice come up to the booth?" And I said, "Yeah." He's standing right next to me. And as soon as I let go of the thing for the walkie, he looks at me and goes, "I ain't fucking going up there. They could wait until halftime. I'm watching the fucking game."
That sounds like fucking Mike Tice.
No,
yes.
But here's the kicker.
Yes.
So
yes.
when the Insomniacs were down 12 before the as Big Rob likes to say, the Bunak blessing happened, him and his wife, they were getting ready to leave. Then obviously Q did what he did, and then he tells his wife and says, "Go get me another fucking beer. We're staying."
Yep.
The big man said that.
I don't want to share the story he told me. And Dub, I think you were there. We're all sitting at the Aquarius when he told us the story about him and his wife. Well, I'll tell you that story off camera. It's pretty friggin' funny. And you got to understand, with Mike Tice being 6'8", his wife is all of about 5'2".
Holy fuck.
And what she did to him, friggin', he had me cracking up. I could not stop laughing. And I still, when I hear the story, when I talk to him, I still start giggling to this day every time I think about it.
We gotta have Mike Tice on it. You can get Mike Tice on the show, brother. Ooh.
I'm gonna text him. I got to reach out to him anyway.
I got so many questions.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a really good dude.
Now I will try my best to appear on this Bloodline podcast, because there is one question I do want to ask Phil Villapiano. But I mean, if I can, great. If I don't, I'll be excited to just watch you guys.
Text it to me, brother. Text it to me, and I will literally say from you, this is a question. So
yeah, I've only got about an hour to be on that show tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, I only got like me too. I only got
over.
I got like an hour and a half that I can be on that show too. I got other engagements, but I'm not missing that one for nothing.
So, which, by the way, which is going to be all across streamer platforms. So that's again tomorrow, 4 p.m. 7 Pacific. Again, it's the Bloodline Sports Podcast with Zoe and the Bear. As again, Mizzle, Chris, and Derek Duncan will be special guests on that podcast, along with Super Bowl champion and Oakland Raiders legend number 41, Phil Villapiano, will also be on that show. So please. Like I said, so I will try, because when you guys are starting, I'm just now getting off work. And like I said, sometimes I don't get off at work on time on the dot. So I will try my hardest that I can say. But
4:30. I thought you said 4, Zoe.
I'm gonna say I thought it was 4. Man, let me know what time it is, brother.
Oh man,
I'm thinking 4.
I had him at he texted me and said 4 o'clock. Now he's saying 4.
I got 4 because Dub said 7 Eastern. So I was thinking 4.
Maybe he's asking Dub, can you make it by 4:30?
Oh, okay.
I'll try, but like I said, sometimes. No, for those that have been supervisors, sometimes you don't get to leave on the dot right away. Sometimes you have to stay and make sure stuff.
That's 100%.
Stay tuned. Like I said, I will try. I will try my damnedest. I will try my hardest. That's the only thing I can say.
I know you don't want to miss that one, brother.
If I can get in early enough, I will chime in. But nonetheless, with this being our pilot episode, we almost went 2 hours, folks. So understand, it's only going to get better as we are up and coming into the NFL season. Like I said, full first fledged weekend. I'll just say it like this, folks. This is football the rest of the way until February of next year. So get your popcorn ready, as Chris likes to say. You'll be seeing a lot of these faces talking some football, giving predictions, as it is tequila versus rum versus whiskey here in this upcoming.
Oh, are we doing it? Dub, should we take it from our show and add in Chris?
Yeah, it's tequila. It's tequila, rum, and whiskey.
So what it is, brother. What's gonna happen is, if you I know you followed our show, but we picked every game, and whoever had the better record had to buy the other drink of their choice. Unfortunately, tequila won, so he bought me a bottle. So we're now going to incorporate this.
If that was the case, he owes me a bottle of rum from last year.
We did
so
also
you took 2 L's? You took 2 L's? Oh, this is going to be easy. So I see it's going to come down to me.
That's because some teams decided to screw me and not want to show up and play football.
That's not our fault.
I didn't say it was you, ace hole. Anyhow, nonetheless, as Max likes to quote me on that, but we appreciate you guys for chiming in and hanging out.
Damn, I got to take a drink because you said it.
This is not the other side of the ball. This is our show.
We're part of the network.
Doesn't matter.
Lord.
You're staying on
part
the
of
network.
We're standing on it. Standing on business, bro. You said it.
Y'all got it. Anyhow, thank y'all for hanging out with us on this first edition of Talking Ish with Dub, Mizzle, and Chris. We sincerely appreciate y'all. You'll be seeing a lot of us because it's football season, and this is our full-fledged fill thy horn with oil and go. So thank you to everybody for chiming in. And why can't I not find that banner? What the heck? There it is. I'm trying to find the doggone banner. But nonetheless, thank you guys. We will speak to you soon. We will give a date of when we will do our NFL prediction show because we do want to give that.
Oh my goodness, Ripple! Woo!
And Carlos
grandfather.
And Carlos Rossi. Oh, good Lord.
I need my bottle of Mad Dog.
Mad Dog 2020. We've been in the movies.
Hey, I had Mad Dog. Never mind. That's
some Everclear. One of the two.
Yo.
Wow.
You drink Everclear. Just make sure you got somebody that's a registered nurse by your side.
Dude, seriously. I'll never drink that shit straight up. I'll always drink it with
I've seen a person on Everclear and the shit was like funny, but it was like, dude, why the fuck you drink this shit that can start a car?
Dude,
it was more funny than anything else because, well, let's just say he has a special nickname for a reason.
Jesus Christ.
He needed him.
That was his name, Jesus Christ?
No. He needed Jesus. But no, that was not
big facts.
Jesus.
That was big facts.
But thank you guys for chiming in with us on this episode of Talking Ish with Dub, Chris, and Mizzle. For Chris, for Mizzle, I'm Dub. We will see you on episode number 2. In the meantime, take care of yourself and each other. And we will have a logo. We will have a theme. So just bear with us, folks. It's coming together. Big things are coming here on Talking Ish with Chris and Mizzle. Good night.